This is Solo in the Shop. On today's episode, I want to talk to you about how sometimes you see advertisements for furniture companies and their stuff seems to always be on sale. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Solo in the Shop. I'm your host, Ronald Lowe's. And whether you're a weekend warrior crafting for friends and family, or a full-time maker turning your passion into a business, this podcast is for anyone who finds themselves alone in their shop covered in sawdust. Join me as I share my journey from hobbyist to the owner of New England Table Company. Together, let's navigate the joys and challenges of woodworking and entrepreneurship, one project at a time. Welcome, friends. I'm back in the shop. It's pretty organized here. I know it looks a mess, but a lot of tables got delivered last week, so I'm feeling pretty good. I don't feel a lot of pressure to get tons of work done. I've got an extension table that I'm working on. I just picked up wood for another live edge table, and I've got this coffee table, ready to go. Just need some sanding, and then we're going to get some legs on it, get it finished. So the shop is humming right along. I picked up a drafting table that I'm putting a new top on. So I'm looking forward to that project. A quick glue up, and then I'm going to make a matching desk for that drafting table. It's been, I'll give you a little background. I am a big fan of Zach Vaught and his program, Handmade Heroes, and the Handmade Furniture Accelerator program. So he's got a podcast and a YouTube channel, and I listen to that. So there's great ideas. I highly recommend it. He has bonus episodes every now and then where he interviews people who are either finished with or going through his program, and they talk about the success and the growth that they've seen. And one of the things that I know about his program is that they run your Facebook ads for you. And that's always been one of the things that kind of has kept me away. And so in the Meta Ad Manager, you can go in there and you can look up other companies and see all the ads that they're running. So I pulled out a few of the companies that I knew were going through Zach's program, and I looked at their ads. And I understood immediately what the approach was. And each of the ads was featuring 25% off, buy now, everything about dining, dining table sets, dining tables, everything's 25% off, act now. And that gave me pause. It reminds me of James and James, which I love their styles. I love the story behind that company. But recently, they're in the same boat where things seem to always be on sale. And what I see is, for example, the New Year's sale. Right? They'll say, oh, it's 20% off for New Year's. And that comes up right up to January 1st. And then it's like, oh, the deal's been extended for a week. And then a few days later, 48 hours left, 24 hours left. Well, that expires. And then it's the winter sale and it's 20% off. Or it's the Valentine's Day sale, and it's 25% off. And, there's this urgency in the advertising to act and to feel like, there's the feeling that there's savings and that you're getting a bargain and you really are saving money. And don't get me wrong, maybe you are. Maybe they have some way of making a table that is $1,000 less than the rest of us. I'm not sure that that's true. I'm not sure that we're comparing apples to apples. So the reality in woodworking is that there's very slim margins. The material, whether it's walnut or maple or, oak, everything is more expensive these days. And the margins and the profit that you can make as a woodworker is quite small. Now, the only way to combat that is to either lower your cost or raise your prices. And for me, I would rather have higher prices and create a more valuable table. That means using top quality materials. It means using hand tools and, combined with my heavy equipment for, I don't want to rip a table by hand, but I want to use the power saw and put it on the track saw, and go that way. I want to craft a table, and I want the people who are buying my tables to know that that's what I'm doing. I want to produce art that is functional furniture, and I want my prices to reflect that. One of the things that happens quite frequently when I'm negotiating with potential clients is I'll say, this is the price, this is, the size, this is what we're going to do, this is the species that we're using, these are the legs that you've chosen. And we'll get to the very end and they'll be like, well, instead of $3,000, can you do it for $2,500? And that hurts my soul. I understand that people want to feel like they're getting a deal, but what they don't understand is the work that I and you and we put into making these things. And to have it come down to, let's just lower the price, that kind of devalues your work. Not even kind of, that's what it is devaluing your work. And I look at things that are being put on sale, and I feel like putting something on sale is me devaluing my own work. I'm doing it to myself. So just as a small shop, I'm not inclined to ever really run a sale. It would be different if I got a deal on a piece of wood and I could say, hey, this one table would normally be $4,500, but I got a great deal on the wood from the supplier, and this table only is $3,500, and when it's gone, it's gone. But I'm not going to do an across the board, everything I make is 25% off just so I can get a ton of orders, have to do a ton of work, and get 5% margins. I can't do it. So I want to grow my business based on quality and value versus rock bottom prices. I don't want to commoditize my tables because it's my work. It's what I'm putting my hands on. It's what I'm creating. I want to sell it as a handmade creation. And the people that appreciate the skill and the work that goes into that will understand the prices. I think about the ones that are always on sale, and I'm like, is there a time when their stuff isn't on sale? And wouldn't you feel like, oh, if their stuff is on sale 90% of the time, if you bought during the 2 weeks of the year that nothing was on sale, I don't think you'd feel good about that either, right? Oh, I waited until I could pay full prices. So that doesn't make any sense either. It's just the reality of woodworking, right? Certainly for the small guys like us, you're solo in your shop, you're working, you're making stuff by hand, discounting to just get the phone ringing, get the orders coming in. I just don't see how that makes sense. And if you never put your prices to be full price, and then, a sale is actually really a sale, I question the ethics of that. It gets into this morality and ethical question of, is it really a sale if you're never going to charge full price? So that is kind of what's been on my mind. It's there, there's a market for everything, right? There are people who are maybe not making all their tables by hand. Maybe they do have some system where the prices they're charging, even at the sale prices, they're making a good enough margin. I just feel like maybe the quality, or there's something about that is suspicious to me that isn't the same as what I'm trying to create. I want to make something that's solid wood, nothing hidden, nothing deceitful, or, where it looks good, but underneath, if you get below the surface, it's not what you expect. And that's, it's reputation management. I want to have the reputation for top quality and, handmade first grade stuff, and putting it on sale. I just can't wrap my head around it. And I'm interested to know what you think. Drop me a line. Tell me if I'm crazy. But I just can't imagine always having a sale and always pushing the urgency and pushing the bargain aspect, where I would much rather push the one-of-a-kind heirloom quality and earn the kind of customers that I want, and not, I can leave the other business for, the rest of the people who are happy to crank out tables at a high rate, but I am going to stick with the artist approach. That's what I have for you this week, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. A couple things before I get back to work. First, if you aren't already following this podcast, what are you doing? Hit follow so you don't miss a single episode. And then secondly, as a favor to me, could you leave a rating or a review wherever you listen? And be sure to share this show with any of your friends that need to tune in. As always, I'd love to hear from you at solointheshop@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you again soon.